Ghana is actively strategizing and implementing policies and initiatives to advance its power sector to achieve 100% universal energy access and potentially export electricity to its big brother neighbor, Nigeria. The head of the Generation and Transmission Unit at the Ministry of Energy in Ghana conveyed this during his presentation in Lagos on the second day of the Nigerian Energy Leadership Summit. Information has it that Ghana has already achieved a remarkable 80% to 85% universal energy access within its borders through robust policy formulation and implementation. According to stakeholders, they noted that they are working on all these things to make sure that the power system of Ghana continues to be as good as it is or even better, and then maybe they can be exporting more to their big brothers in Nigeria when the grid is finally settled. This is actually coming in the wake of Nigeria, Africa's largest nation and leading oil producer, experiencing its national electricity grid collapse, resulting in a complete blackout for homes and businesses. In contrast, Ghana is actively pursuing various energy options including grid energy, mini-grids and solar-dominated renewable energy to achieve universal access to energy by the end of 2024. The Ghanaian government also acknowledged that achieving universal energy access in Ghana, especially in remote islands, riversides or lakeside communities, presents significant challenges due to geographical constraints. One of the foremost challenges in Ghana's power sector is financial sustainability, as the government grapples with mounting debt and excess capacity procurement. There is so much debt the government has to shore up to make sure that the system is afloat because we have to procure a lot of excess capacity, which comes with attendant cost. So these financial challenges require some policy actions to eliminate legacy debt. High electricity tariffs are also a significant concern in Ghana, and the government actually expressed the importance of making electricity more affordable, especially for industries. Historically, these industries have been subsidizing the residential sectors, and it should be the other way around. Industry should remain viable so that businesses can thrive. Ghana's electricity situation has improved so much in the recent years that the country is now exporting electricity to its neighbors. Electricity fluctuation and long hours without power are now a thing of the past. With its gas resources from Jubilee Field and hydroelectric turbines, the country has managed to overcome, to a certain extent, the shortage of electricity it was facing in the 90s and early 2000s. However, there is still a lot to be done. The Volta River Authority has 6 127 megawatt turbines, which are the main sources of electricity in the country. The power plant located in Akosombo is responsible for supplying major bulk of the electricity used in the country, with 60% of the electricity produced is bought by VACO for running its smelter. However, this power plant also exports electricity to neighboring countries of Benin and Togo. The remaining electricity needs of the country are met by Electricity Corporation of Ghana, which uses diesel to manufacture electricity, as well as a smaller hydroelectric plant at Pong and mining companies. The Bui Dam, located on the Black Volta River, is the one that has helped Ghana overcome the deficit. The electricity produced here is also exported to Côte d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. The road to self-sufficiency was not easy, as the country found it difficult to get investment for the 450 megawatt hydroelectric plant in the Bui Dam. However, the World Bank funded a program under the aegis of the International Development Association, and this helped Ghana provide reliable electricity to urban areas as well as the southern part of the country. Furthermore, in 1989, the national grid was extended to the northern region, and this helped the northern part of the country get electricity from Akosombo Dam. The thermal power plant located close to Takoradi has helped the national grid increase its output by supplying 300 megawatts. With the help of the National Nuclear Research Institute, a nuclear reactor near Accra was also set up to meet the electricity shortages in the country. Currently, Ghana has plans to link the power transmission system in Ghana to all the countries in West Africa with the aim of having a power pool. This will help all the countries in the region to consolidate their power generating resources. The West African nations signed the West African Power Pool Agreement in October 2000. The agreement was to develop facilities for energy production in each nation and then interconnect their respective national grid to boost the power supply. Furthermore, the government of Ghana has also attracted investment in the energy sector and has managed to garner nearly $4 billion to help increase electricity generation in the country with the help of private companies. This will further help the country meet its rising demand, which is growing. Armed with its new power sector reforms, Ghana hopes to generate, transmit and distribute electricity around the country and also to the neighboring countries. Before now, low electricity tariff deterred private companies from entering the country's electricity supply market. But with the liberalization of the market, it is now attracting investment that will help to increase capacity expansion and streamline management and distribution of electricity. While Ghana is working on exporting electricity to countries like Nigeria, most of its rural areas live in darkness. This is primarily because of limited funding, poverty, and the cost of renewable energy. So while urban communities are seeing improvement in the supply of electricity, the rural areas are lagging behind. On the other hand, the current state of electricity generation, transmission, and distribution in Nigeria is a study in crisis. This crisis has become endemic and defied logic and common sense. First, Nigeria's installed electricity generation capacity is said to be about 13,000 megawatts. However, actual generation capacity delivered to the national grid for transmission to Nigerians has during the past years stagnated at an average of 4,100 megawatts to 4,200 megawatts daily. Even though during the past years there has been a marginal improvement in energy quantities delivered to the national grid, reaching about 4,753 megawatts, the consistent inability to deliver much beyond 33% of the total installed generation capacity is a function of fairly long-standing market, infrastructure, and regulatory challenges. This is for a population of over 200 million people. Egypt's installed electricity generation capacity was approximately 58,000 megawatts, making it one of the highest in Africa, with 100% access for a population of about 80 million people as of 2021. The installed electricity generation capacity in South Africa was approximately 58,000 megawatts, with 84% access for a population of about 60 million people. These two countries, with a similar economic size to Nigeria, produce and distribute about 15 times more megawatts than Nigeria, whose population is almost 3 times more. Also, Nigeria's electricity distribution infrastructure needs to be updated and requires substantial investment. Transmission and distribution losses are high, resulting in a significant waste of generated electricity. Frequent system failures such as blackout and voltage fluctuations are common due to inadequate infrastructure. The regulatory framework for the Nigerian electricity sector has faced criticism for needing to be more effective and conducive to attracting investment. Inconsistent policies, bureaucratic hurdles, and difficulties enforcing regulations have hindered progress in the power sector. The consequences of this electricity quagmire are there. Nigeria's failure to actualize its full potential is partially attributed to these electricity problems. Studies have shown how the lack of reliable, affordable, and quality electricity has systematically underdeveloped Nigeria in the past 30 years. It is therefore laughable to see that a country like Ghana, whom Nigeria is supplying gas, is working towards exporting its electricity back to Nigeria. It is therefore important for Nigeria to declare a state of emergency on electricity. We can only but imagine the multiplier effect on the government getting electricity right on our way of life.